Yo, yo, yo. What is up, man? It's Friday, baby. It's Friday. Oh, yeah. That weekend's here.
Now that we're friends again, is it okay if I pet you?
Thanks, dude.
Wick 6634 just resubscribed for 17 months. Why are you late? Did you forget it was our anniversary?
Look, man. I didn't forget, but you know, I was trying to make sure I looked good for you, dude. And this just, you know, this is premeditated, Doug. You know, I know that it comes off natural, but sometimes this takes a little bit of work, brother. And I was just trying to make sure I looked good for you for our anniversary, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to look real snackalicious, homie. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, cut me a break, dude. Sorry I'm late, man. Besides the fact that I didn't want to get out of bed this morning, you know, I'm sorry. But also because I just wanted to look good. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. Bro, there's not usually an issue with me looking fat. It's just spelled different. What's up, Ferret? Yo, Wick, thanks, man. God dang, dude. 17 months. Dog, it does not seem like it was that long ago where we, you know, you came into the stream because I was playing Ori and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I know what that one spells. I know what that one spells. That's what I was saying. It's just, I'm the different kind of fat, dude. I'm just FAT. I'm just a fat boy. Dude, I can't believe it's been 17 months. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's incredibly generous, dude. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. That's probably smart, Ferret. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, god dang, bro. I was tangled up. Sorry. Wick, thanks, buddy. Incredible, man. 17 months, dog. Jesus. That's wild, man. Wildness. God, time flies when you're having fun, dude. For sure. Seriously. I mean, just not enough. There's just not enough time. I'm telling you. I love doing what I do, man. And there's just not enough time for me to do, like, I can't do it enough, man. I really can't. You guys are a big part of that, though. And, I really appreciate it, Wick. It's incredible, dude. And, all because of Ori, you know? I mean, we gotta give props to the Ori games. Had it not been for playing Ori, man, you know, me and Wick wouldn't have become, snack homies, you know? Alright, good morning, guys. It's good to see you. Sorry about being a little bit late. But we're here, man. We're here. Need more coffee. I really didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I was having struggles. I was struggling, dude. That struggle bus was real. Trying to get out of bed this morning. Oreos. Go grab some. Dude, my son got some here recently that's like the ultra stuffed ones. Have you seen those? Holy crap, dude. My thing with Oreos is that I need milk, dude. Oreos are not that good to me unless I'm dunking them. I'm just not a big fan of just dry Oreos. Don't have any? Sounds like you've got a catastrophe on your hands there, buddy, and it sounds like you need to just take the day off from class, go grab a bunch of Oreos. Yeah, and just go dunk-tastic, dude. Just turn into an Oreo NBA player, you know what I mean? Class is over? Oh, sick, dude. Oh, yeah, I forgot it was only through Thursday, huh? Oh, sick. Yo, well, just call in, dude. Go get some Oreos. Have a nice chill Friday. Make it a 3-day weekend, you know? And just be an Oreo professional basketball player. Just start dunking real early today, you know? We got more Shadows over Loathing today. We got, we'll dive into just some quick Warframe. We got to go see what Barrow's selling. Barrow Katir is in town for 2 days now, and We need to go see what he's selling. So if there's anything we need in the game, we'll go grab it real quick, and then we'll hop into Shadows over Loathing after that. But yeah, my day was crazy yesterday. I went to I kind of ended the stream only at 8 hours because I was like, dude, I'm gonna try to start getting some more content stuff worked on. I needed to run to town real quick after the stream. I went and hopped in my car. Wouldn't even turn over, dude. Oh man. There you go. There you go, Ferret. Yeah, there you go. Nice. So got in the car and was trying to crank, dude, and I had enough power for like all the electronics in the car, but dude, the car wasn't cranking over, and I was like, ah, nah. So wife got home a little bit later, tried to jump it, and the battery was just barely holding enough to try to crank the car. So I ended up having to go pull the battery out of my car and buy a new battery, and I was just pretty sure that was it. I didn't really need to test it after that. I was pretty sure it was a battery issue, but I had to pull battery, go buy a new battery, reinstall battery last night. Good times, man. Life, baby, life. But it worked, so you know, hopefully no more car issues. Oh, dude, yeah. Well, normally, you know, nowadays it's like we get preventative maintenance done all the time on the cars. If a battery's not testing well, whenever we get preventative maintenance done, they get changed out. But I haven't had my car in a while because my car sits in the garage almost all winter long. I don't drive my car in the winter very much at all, and but I just haven't had it in since I got it out of the garage. I haven't taken it in for any kind of preventative maintenance yet, dude. And apparently that battery was not doing too well. But it wasn't a big deal, man. It wasn't a big deal. It's actually not too hard of a thing either, because my battery is actually in the trunk of my car, so it's a pretty easy thing. You're not having to dig around a bunch of like engine compartment stuff, so it's not too bad. But yeah, got it done. It was good. I hadn't done a battery change in quite a while actually, so it was pretty nice. Kind of nice to get the hands there, but it took like a bunch of time last night. I wasn't expecting on having to dedicate to it. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Mine's in my trunk because my engine's too big, dude. I've got like the opposite of a hybrid, bro. So I don't know, but I'm stoked, man. It's Friday. I know that we're gonna have a good day. We'll get into this gaming stuff before you know we gotta do what we do, baby. Let's go get into this video gaming news stuff and see what's going on. First, this is what we're listening to this morning. Loop Hero Jams, dude. Loop Hero Jams. Amazing roguelike RPG-ish kind of game. Very, very cool. And I love the soundtrack. I know that it can get repetitive. People that have played Loop Hero might have gotten a bit tired of it, but I personally have played Loop Hero and still love it. So I don't know. But this is what we're listening to this morning if you're interested, alright? Cool soundtrack, cool OST, cool game too. The game's super dope. Definitely recommend checking it out. Kill those tunes. Let's get into the news. See what we got. Alright, man. Apple's got 20 new games on their Apple Arcade service. Let's take a look. We'll go with Engadget. How about Engadget? Let's go with that. That'll work. Yeah, I know. That's why it's like the choices on that main page were like Apple's site or two other sites. And I was like, we'll go with one of the other sites. So I'm not a fan of Apple, dude. So, yeah. But it is gaming news, so we'll take a look. We'll take a look. Video Game Hall of Fame. Is this? No way, dude. They got the inductees. Oh, it happened? Really? Are these them? Wii U, The Last of Us, and Barbie? What? Yo, we got to take a look at this. Wii Sports, don't get me wrong, Wii Sports is amazing, and I could see that one. But look, man, I mean, we're going to talk about the criteria for the Hall of Fame and the other nominees. Dude, I didn't think that. I thought for sure there were going to be some other nominees that were going to make it into the Hall of Fame. Over games like Barbie and The Last of Us, right? The Last of Us I didn't feel like was old enough yet to really beat out some of these other games. Not that it's not necessarily viable for the Hall of Fame yet, but there were some older, more impactful games. What a lot of the criteria is like, what games have these nominees have done to gaming culture and their reach across the world over gaming history and stuff like that. And dude, I'm actually surprised at this. Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I'm saying like Wii Sports, dude. I can understand that one. I can understand that. Let's go random mode. You what, mate? God dang it. You what, Video Game Hall of Fame? We'll have to take a look at this, dude. Yeah, yesterday was Star Wars Day. May the Force be with you, right? May the 4th. So there's probably still some Star Wars sales out there if you're interested. You just got to search around for them. Shadowman Dark Legacy returns Shadowman to video games. What? Okay. Yeah, Revenge of the Fifth. Or Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so there's still a bunch of Star Wars stuff going on. Even though, like, yesterday's traditionally thought of as, like, kind of worldwide, like, Star Wars Day, you know. Star Wars fans drag it out through today and call it, you know, Revenge of the Fifth and stuff like that, you know. And, which is cool. That's cool. But you'll still be able to find quite a few sales. I know there were some sales that were supposed to be ending yesterday, too, though. But if you are interested, I mean, anything, not just video games either, any kind of Star Wars stuff, you can find sales all over the place right now. You just got to go look for it. We hit on a lot of them at the beginning of this week and stuff like that. And I just don't want to dive into it anymore. If you're looking for stuff, you can find. You got to take the time to find it. Broken games and exorbitant GPUs. PC gaming is rough. Yep, it sure is. Yeah, it sure is. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, we're still waiting to see exactly what's going to go on with the. Obviously, Phil Spencer calls the CMA's decision disappointing. CMA blocking their potential acquisition of Activision Blizzard in the UK. You know, if you didn't know, just based off of the cloud gaming anti-competitiveness is what they were basing their no off of. Even though Microsoft and Xbox had done all these 10-year deals and everything at this point. And we're going to see Microsoft and Xbox go ahead and counter this and try to get this deal moving forward again. And we'll see what happens with the CMA. And they've already gotten more 10-year deals put on the table with other cloud gaming services and stuff. And so we'll see what happens. It seemed that they had pleased everybody enough to go ahead and get this approved across the world. And then all of a sudden the CMA was like still, it was kind of a surprise no, I think, for a lot of people. But we kind of know the gist of what's happened there, and once we get new information on that front, we'll dive into it. But this isn't really new stuff here. What is this? Is this just Epic Game Store free stuff? Oh yeah, okay. So I won't dive into that, but I will just go ahead and say that there are new free games to grab on Epic at this point, which is Against All Odds, Horizon Chase Turbo, and KO the Kangaroo. And then next week, what we're seeing is a Sims 4 bundle for free. They'll probably add in another game to go along with this. That's what they usually do. You can see like this week they're giving away 3. The average, what they normally do is 2 games a week. And so sometimes it'll be something like this and an extra full game or whatever. So is this the full game and oh, The Sims 4 is free now, right? I think it's actually free now, so it doesn't actually even matter. I think The Sims 4 is free, and they're just giving you like these add-on packs for it and everything. So, yeah, I think that's the case. I'd forgotten that went free, right? I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, but go get your free games. Cool. Don't forget. Don't forget. Hmm? We already talked about that. Yo, these monitors are wild. Have you seen these things? These like 49 to like 55-inch monitors. It's really interesting. And I've seen applications like I would be really interested in using one actually. They're really expensive. Yeah, they're really expensive right now, but I think they're really neat for anybody that needs multiple monitors. Setting these things up in a for me, if I had one of these, it would not be in a horizontal layout. It would be in a vertical layout. And what I would do is split this thing into 3 different sections. So it would be like a main monitor section and then 2 other alternate monitor sections. It would just be really, really useful. Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can. Yeah. The thing is, like, for anything, if you're gaming, and obviously the curved part of it is one of the things that makes stuff really, really nice. The next time I actually get a dedicated gaming monitor, I would like to try the curved stuff out because I haven't done it yet. I didn't really buy into it early. But now that the technology is much more baked in, I can see the advantages of it, but it doesn't really like if you're talking like a 49-inch monitor, you cannot it doesn't matter, like the curvature is going to help, but you're still not going to be able to sit very close to it, because if you're sitting too close, like the way I like to sit with my setup here, you're going to have to be like turning your head to like to see things on it, you know what I mean? But the way I've seen these setups be worked is like one of these monitors that like is set up in a vertical orientation to where it kind of like goes up and kind of curves up over you a little bit. So in my kind of setup here where I've got a lot of different things going on, I can split that monitor into like 3 different sections. And I can have the bottom of it be like the main monitor or whatever. And then I can have a couple of other sections done up to where like, whatever I need to be looking at. And so it's pretty wild. It's pretty cool looking. It's pretty interesting. You do gain peripheral, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it's too big and you're sitting too close, you're still not going to be able to see everything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like anything that gets too big, if you're too close, you're not going to be able to see the whole screen. You still have to sit back. Of course, that's the thing about the curved stuff, right? Is the curved stuff makes it better for the peripheral, right? Never too big. I see you. I see you. Kappa, dude. I think there was supposed to be a Kappa there, not a smiley face. It's just inevitable. Like, because, I mean, obviously, like, because I'm only about, I don't know, 1.5 feet away from my main monitor, 2 feet maybe. And if I was to sit here with a 40, like that close to a 49-inch monitor, there's absolutely no flipping way. There's absolutely no way I would be able to see everything going on that monitor, There you go, dude. There you go. Yeah. So that's one of those things that, I think people need to, but the curved stuff is absolutely, it's much better for being able to get more space into your vision and everything with a bigger monitor. And because I run a 27-inch monitor right now, and as close as I sit, I still have occasions where it feels really good. I like this monitor, but I would like to go to like a 32 or a 34 and go curved, and I think it would feel really, really nice. I really do. How big are yours, dude? You don't have to answer that if it's too personal. Dude, 23-inch curved? Oh, okay, right on. Right on. And a 21. Okay, right on. Solid. Yeah. Yeah. So I've got a 24, both of them, neither one of mine are curved, but I've got a 24-inch that's in a vertical setup, and then I've got a 27-inch that's my main monitor in a horizontal. And I say this all the time: if anybody runs alternate, like secondary monitors or anything, and you've never run one in a vertical setup, do yourself a favor and try it out. Obviously, your main monitor is not something you want to do like that, especially if you're a gamer, you watch movies and stuff, because it's not going to work as well. But because movies and games and stuff aren't built for vertical orientation, but just about everything else on computers has always been built better for a vertical layout. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I don't even have a dedicated chat up. It's just I've got it basically my secondary monitor is just OBS, and I have an OBS like window, like a chat window in my OBS but that's what I want. I want another dedicated, just vertical orientation monitor to where all it is chat. That's all I want it to be, is just chat. Chat alone. That's it. Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, like websites and documents and things, like, it's all of that stuff they're just like created. They've always been created in a way that is better viewed on a vertical monitor. You see way more information all at once, and so you're not having to like read like a small paragraph and then scroll and then read a small paragraph and then scroll, because you're just getting wide information, not long information. And most stuff is actually built for like long information in technology, right? So it's actually just much more convenient. I recommend people try it out. Both orientations can be good for different purposes, but yeah. Right. Well, which is why I say that, like, my main monitor is always horizontal. My main monitor is always horizontal. So if I needed to do anything like that, yeah, I mean, like I said, there are certain applications that are going to be good for either or, but there's just a lot of stuff inherently that works very, very well for vertical. And most people don't understand that because inherently, most people have always just looked at monitors needing to be horizontal, not the fact that you can actually run them in a vertical setup. And so they don't think about it and they've never tried it. But they're different way that, you know, both applications work well, and you know, there are different applications that work well for both orientations. But I recommend trying it out. Obviously, main monitor horizontal is the way to go, but in my opinion. But I guess if you were rocking a flipping 55-inch curved monitor, you could put that thing in a vertical and split it into 3 different sections, and you wouldn't even really need to worry about it. You know what I mean? So, Apex Legends developer reveals single line code to what? Blame for audio bug? Yo. What about all the other stupid issues this game creates for so many people? You guys ever figure out any of those things? We'll take a look. If it's a single line of code that creates audio bugs for people, I imagine it's a single line of code, or like just some stupid little syntax error that creates so many issues for so many other people too. Probably just the difference between tethering and tethering, you know what I mean? Dude, I did watch part of it. Yeah, it was pretty good, man. Yeah, I got to watch a couple of minutes of it. And it was pretty, but I had to pause it and go do something else, and I forgot to go back to it. But yeah, it was pretty funny, man. There, look, Gamer explains why gaming keyboards are kind of a scam. There are, I would say there are a lot of peripherals that are just really, really overpriced. And I don't know. I think the best anybody can do when it comes to peripherals is really just educate yourself, do your own research. Obviously, I think that some of it comes from experience and knowing what you want. But at the same time, if you know roundabouts what you're looking for, I've had a lot of different kinds of peripherals over the years. And right now, I run a really, really basic keyboard. It's a basic keyboard. It's small. It has no numpad on it even. And I absolutely love it. Yeah, absolutely fair. Yeah, I mean, mine's got LEDs, but they're only one color. You know what I mean? Like, got to go with that orange. You know what I mean? But this is my keyboard, dude. And I'll shout it out. It's a red dragon. I love this thing. You know, and I didn't pay a bundle for it, man. I love it. Clean's easy, dude. Just pop the keys off, and it's got the right amount of like feedback that I like to have in my my keys for my press, and the right amount of clickiness and everything. I like to have an amount of click, you know, but I don't like it to be stupid loud, like, you know, I'm typing on a flipping traditional typewriter or something. I don't need that, you know. But everybody's got a bit of a different preference. But yeah, a lot of peripherals nowadays are just super overpriced. And I think the best thing you can do is really just educate yourself on what you're looking for and what you want, and what is actually necessary for what you're trying to get done with a peripheral. A lot of things are just filled with fluff, man. Bunch of fluff. Prefer low sounding clicks. I'm kind of more in the medium range. I don't like the lows, dude. I like the, you know, so you'd be, I like kind of mid range, you know. I like to hear a little bit of it. Part of that's probably because I'm deaf, though. I had to work on really loud stuff for an amount of my life, and it kind of wrecked my my ears a little bit. So I like the I probably like a little bit of a louder one just because I'm a little bit deaf, dude. But I like that, you know, I like the audio feedback that I get out of hitting the keys too. You know. I'm not gonna dive into it, but I do highly recommend like people look into part of more expensive equipment sometimes is, and I've talked about this, whether you talk about peripherals or a TV, any kind of high tech big purchase for technology, whatever, anything. Part of what you'll buy into sometimes is the brand, and I'll hear people go sometimes, well, there's no point in buying something like a Sony TV because you're paying extra just for that name. Well, you're paying extra for that name because, and I can attest to this, Sony has really good customer support and really good warranty. They take care of their products that might not meet the satisfaction of the customer through those warranty periods and stuff. I've experienced it. And that's one of those things that I think people need to take into consideration. You're not just buying a name, you're buying the name that goes along with, that customer support and that warranty service and stuff like that too. So that's something to take into consideration also when you're looking into buying certain things. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. These come off real easy. They're snug, but they pop off really, really easy. I've got a keycap puller, or I've got a tool set that has one in there, and so I just pop these things off. What I normally do is I go like almost every other row. I'll leave like 2 rows on. I won't pull my entire keyboard keys off, but I'll leave like 2 rows. That way I can get some alcohol out and really get like Q-tips and clean this thing up really, really well whenever it needs a good cleaning. Yeah. It's gross, dude. I never cleaned my keyboards remotely as often as I do now that I have a white keyboard, dude. Jesus. Oh, nice, dude. WD-40 electronic cleaner. Nice. I didn't even know they made that. Interesting. Yeah. Water displacement 40, by the way. That's what WD stands for. Water displacement. Yo, and that stuff's amazing. You can clean like all kinds of stuff with that. Just regular WD-40. Oh, it's contact cleaner. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even know WD-40 made contact cleaner, though. That's interesting. Regular WD-40, though, if you didn't know, that stuff is amazing for all kinds of different purposes. Like, for instance, you can use it now, I would say, if you've got a grill that's old, it's got a really nasty grill grate on it or whatever, take some WD-40 and a wire brush or a wool, what do they call those? The wool sponges or whatever, and I can't think of the name of them right now. And the steel wool, yeah, there you go. Thanks, buddy. And you just scrub it with some WD-40, dude. It'll clean like a barbecue grate right up, dude. It's crazy. There's all kinds of crazy. You can look up online. There's all kinds of like life hacks for WD-40, man. It's really wild. It's an amazing thing. But obviously, if you're gonna be before you cook on it, you're gonna want to clean all that WD-40 off of it. I don't know. It sounds like a good time to me, man. I mean, isn't that how you just get the fire going for the grill again? All right. Former SimCity developers launched a new city builder today. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, dude. What is this, bro? Premium DLC and free major update announced for Suzerain. What is Suzerain? Does anybody know what this game is? All right, we'll take a look. Oh yeah, no, I know. Yeah, we're kind of trolling out right now. We're kind of just joking. Yeah, don't don't be starting fires with steel wool and batteries, and don't be putting batteries in fires and stuff. Not good, dude. Don't eat Tide Pods, okay? Just can people just have common sense, please, and not do stupid stuff, and then be like, well, they said it was something you could do. And then they hurt themselves and try to sue people for it because they just didn't have common sense. And this is the world we live in, dude. It's insane. Buy Jedi Survivor, get a $10 Amazon credit. Give me a flipping break, dude. Nobody should be buying that game. Yo, 1 second. Sorry. GeForce Now will be adding 15 games in May. Let's take a look at that for everybody. Look at our other search here. Yeah, we've got that up. Yep, we got that up. Just making great games won't change Xbox consoles market. Yeah, well, look, okay, so we'll read in. We already kind of know. I mean, just from what this is saying here, just making great games won't change Xbox consoles market share, says Spencer. Executive claims Xbox is not in the business of out consoling Sony and Nintendo. Well, we know that. Not that they wouldn't be happy with that, but it's not really viable. It's not really in the cards for them. It never has been. Xbox has always been outsold, well outsold by Sony and Nintendo on the hardware front. Which is why Xbox has come up with things like Game Pass and their cloud service and stuff like that to remain very competitive in the cloud or in the gaming space, But again, I mean, them not having very good first party proprietary titles here lately is not doing them any favors. Let's pull it up. We'll talk about it. So fair, you getting to just hang out with us today or what, man? And how was class? Did you have a good class this week? Was it all right? Yeah, it was good. Good, dude. Bungie wins $12 million lawsuit against Romanian probably cheater site. Yeah, cheat seller. Oh, yo. All right. Oh, word. Nice, dude. All right, cool. Solid. I hope it was pretty educational, man. Nice. Good. Good. Looks like there's a 10-minute gameplay video of Amnesia the Bunker. I'm not gonna look at this. We might end up playing Amnesia the Bunker at some point. Could be this Scaretober. I don't know. But I don't necessarily want to watch like 10 minutes of gameplay. I don't want to be spoiled on it or anything. But no, it's out there if you want to take a look, okay? Chromata and Epic. Is that supposed to be anime? What's Amy? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be anime. Sci-fi video game set to launch. What is this? All right, we'll take a look. We'll see what that is. It looks like it's kickstarting. TMNT Splintered Fate is a Hades-inspired Ninja Turtles game. What? I think this might have to do with the Apple Arcade. So let me put this down here. Apple Arcade has a new Ninja Turtles game on it too. Let's take a look. Let's see. I think those might kind of synergize there. So, Veristotle, what's up, friendo? How you doing, man? Reject, what's up? Happy Friday, guys. Lego 2K Drive, we've looked at it already, man. Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it in the news already. Yeah. Doesn't mean we can't look it up again, but yeah, we've seen it in the news. It looks pretty cool, man. Looks pretty cool. I can pull it up again. If we don't run too late today, doing nice, Aristotle, nice, man. Better than not doing, friendo. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the Lego games usually I mean, even though this isn't like the traditional Lego games we're used to receiving, Lego games tend to be pretty solid. But this is quite a different take on Lego stuff. So, well, yeah. I mean, let's see. Look, I actually, so I have a cut out of yesterday's news segment talking about Final Fantasy 16 getting banned in Saudi Arabia. Apparently because they refused to remove some LGBTQ plus content. It's not live. It's not public on YouTube yet, but it will be in just a little while. So it's something that'll be up on YouTube probably a little bit after the news segment today. And if you want to know more, you can just take a look at that, and you'll get a pretty nice summary there of what's going on, as well as my take on why it's a bit concerning with Saudi Arabia as a country buying so heavily into the gaming industry, But we already know about that. Oh, really? Yo, that's cool, Reject. All right, dude. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, ferret. Yeah, normally. Yeah. I mean, here's the problem, dude. Here's the problem. In a country like that, if it's banned and you get found with it, there are usually pretty significant consequences to that, which is why people usually lean away from doing that kind of thing. This is, we're talking about a much different, and this, but I mean, we're talking about a country that's quite a bit different than where many of us live, and the way they treat people and things like that. So, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, that's the world, right? Anywhere that people are restricted from content, they usually find ways about getting their hands on it. But it does present a different kind of situation when you're talking about a country like Saudi Arabia banning it because of content. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, it will definitely sway people away from maybe trying to grab that content um, within that country because of the severe consequences that would come along with it. Also, yeah. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl gets short but refreshing. What? Let's take a look at that. Potentially, yeah, potentially. Yeah. Is it going to be on GeForce Now? No. No, it's only Final Fantasy 16 is only on PlayStation, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, look, in a lot of countries, they'll even, you know, for the cloud services, the subscription services and stuff, those services are actually catered specifically to their ratings boards and their content that's approved and disapproved and everything too. Which, you know, we're talking, you know, utilizing VPNs to get around that stuff and things of that nature too. So there are definitely ways to get it done. No doubt about it. There's always ways to get it done if you're invested enough, you know. But again, the does the risk of the potential consequences of it for people that reside in some of these countries outweigh the, you know, the reward? I don't know. I don't know. Redfall review, where did Bethesda go wrong? It's not Bethesda's game, dude. What are you talking about? If Bethesda published it, okay? So yeah, they should have had, but they didn't develop this game. This is Arcane, man. So why does this say Redfall review, where did Bethesda go wrong? This is, so I have an issue with this. I'm gonna pull this up and let's take a read at this. um, you can't go automatically into, yes, Arcane is a subsidiary of Bethesda, so they are to take some of the blame for sure. But it's just the same thing as, like, who owns both of those companies? Microsoft. Microsoft didn't do anything either. But I'll pull it up. Let's talk about it. Well, I'll pull it up. We'll talk about it, okay? Ready or Not's back on Steam after accidental takedown. No flippin' way. What? Mortal Kombat 2 is set to cast the boy star Carl Urban as Johnny Cage? How about Kano, dude? Why is Carl Urban not playing Kano? Dude. Jesus, shut up. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Come on, man. And I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, Carl Urban is actually from New Zealand, and I think Kano is either supposed to be originally Australian or something. So that's pretty. Or is he? Was he from New Zealand as well originally? Australia. Okay, Australia, New Zealand, pretty close, dude. He does a good American accent too. Yeah, but look at the similarities, dude. They might not be having Kano in the Mortal Kombat 2, but Jesus. I mean, if anybody was supposed to be playing Kano, I mean, he seems perfect, dude. Look at it. It's just too good, dude. It's just, God dang it. Oh man. I think he would have been a great Kano too. It won't work anymore, man. If they've got him playing Johnny Cage, they can't make him play Kano too. I don't see it. It would be too weird for me. I don't know. I mean, it might work. It might work, but really, Johnny Cage? I can't see that. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. We'll read about it. Really? If Kano is in that movie, I'm gonna be. I just dude. Carl Urban is too perfect for that character, dude. It's wild. I'm gonna be like, I don't know how they got him as a better fit to play Johnny Cage. I guess because he's like main role actor or whatever, probably. But he does do a great American accent. He's a great actor. Wait, what? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. Valorant team forfeits match due to players' addiction to Honkai Star Rail? No way, dude. I'm gonna read about this. That's flipping hilarious. All right, Saints Row's first story DLC is coming soon. I mean, that's another game that kind of flopped. So it's the new game that just came out from Hoyoverse, right? So Genshin Impact. It's the new game that just came out from them. So same developer behind Genshin Impact. It just released, I don't know, dude, a week and a half ago, something like that. Yeah, yeah. System Shock developer defends using AI to create artwork. Oh god, here we go, dude. All right, we got a lot. Ferret. I don't know if we'll have time to look up the Lego stuff today, but we haven't looked it up in a while. There might be some new info on that front. So, maybe tomorrow during the news, remind me. We got a ton of articles this morning, dude. So the fact I've already hit on it, I'd rather bring it up and try to find some more content on it. Maybe when we're a little bit more slim on like articles and stuff, Well, yeah, like so maybe tomorrow remind me again and I'll try to see if we can find some like new updated info about what's going on with that Lego racing game stuff, okay? But I appreciate the bringing it up and everything, man. Let's get in here, dude. Saint Row's first story DLC coming soon. Yo, what's the Metacritic on this right now, by the way? Let's go ahead and take a look here. This game did not do well. Very Redfall, This is one of those games that got marketed very heavily again. When did it release? August of last year. Yeah, this is one of those games that got marketed up heavily. And whenever I saw this game, I was like, dude, it looks like they're trying really, really, really hard to appeal to like some kind of like edgy young audience or something. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It just, there was something about it that was a bit weird looking to me. But apparently, this is what you'll get out of the game. For PC, it's a 65 Metascore, user score of 2.4. PS5, even worse, 61 2.4. Xbox Series X, 65 2.9. It's pretty brutal. So this is another. I mean, like, it's kind of wild to me that, look, not that games can't turn around. You know, we've seen it happen, but it's not very common for a game to get released and to be consensus viewed as pretty terrible, to be completely turned around into something pretty solid, to where, you know, you know, and especially when you talk content wise, especially, there's a difference between, neither one are acceptable. But when you talk the difference between a game's releasing and they do really bad because the content sucks, it's really hard to come back from that. We've seen more often games that get released in a real bad performance state. Unfortunately, that should never happen. But we see more often those kinds of games at least get some love from their developers moving forward, turn into something playable, and have some decent content, and so they end up becoming something that people are okay with. You know, Cyberpunk, stuff like that. I still am. You know, I'm one of those people with the mindset like that game should have never released the way it released. I still have an issue looking at that game and going, yeah, I'll spend money on it. Because it should have never released the way it released, and I don't necessarily feel like the developer deserves money for it. So I think that there's something to be said for the developer sticking with the game. And you know, if a developer shows me moving forward, like maybe if it was CDPR, like with Cyberpunk and stuff, if they show me moving forward that their other projects coming out are going to be released in better states and be better and worth money, you know, then I would go back and take a look at something like Cyberpunk and go, okay, yeah, I'll buy into this now. But, you know, that's kind of my stance on it. These games like Saints Row, where, you know, I know it had performance issues too, but apparently the content in the game was just pretty lackluster and not great. You talk about games like that, games like another one we saw here recently that's coming out with new DLC that I was just kind of like, really? We're talking about Gotham Knights. That's a game that's supposed to be pretty terrible content-wise all the way around. Aside from the, you know, 30 frame per second lock and all that stuff on it, you know, these games are coming out with DLC content too. I don't quite see the play, unless they just already had a bunch of this content cooked up. You know, that scummy mechanic we talk about a lot, which this Saints Row's been out since last August, so it's been out for a while now. But quite often these companies will do this. They'll get the major content, the base part of the game done up, and even before it releases, they'll have a big part of the DLC stuff done already, which really is, like, in my opinion, stuff that should have been part of the base game quite often. But they're like, oh, well, we should just save this content for later on. That way we can make it DLC and make people pay for that too, you know. Then maybe that's what the case is here. But we see Saints Row coming out with DLC content. We see Gotham Knights coming out with DLC content. And I just don't see people buying into it, man. I mean, the games kind of suck. So They'll probably make a little bit off of it, but I don't see it being a big win or anything. But if they already had all this content like built up, then it's nothing. It's for the developer. It's like, well, why not? Why not push it out, right? Saints Row first story DLC is coming soon. Developer Volition is looking to offer better times for Saints Row's players after a rather rough release. Everyone anticipated that rebooting such a popular video game series with new characters and a new setting wasn't going to be easy. A part of the huge community of fans of the series wasn't ready to see their favorite characters go, but the new visual aspect of the game alongside the opportunity for new stories contributed to a good reception. Unfortunately, the developer has been busy fixing bugs during the last few months, but Saints Row seems to be ready to gain more momentum with the release of its first paid DLC. A new adventure. The Heist and the Hazardous will take the Saints on a mission to claim revenge after they are betrayed during an assassination job. The expansion will include a new storyline, missions, events, and cosmetic items. Its release will be followed by other 2 DLC that are planned for July and August, making the summer quite an enjoyable time for the fans of Saints Row, whether they own the Season Pass or prefer to buy them separately. Let's take a look here. I need a lot of coffee today. Dude, it's Friday, baby. The weather's been nice too. Tomorrow limited because of archery. Word. Dude, I guess we need to kind of talk about tomorrow. What do I want to do? We'll have to talk about that after the news. I don't know if we're going to start Grounded this weekend or not. We'll have to talk about it after the news. I might actually take a day this weekend to just work on stuff outside of the news. I might just do the news one day this weekend and then take the rest of the day to work on some content stuff. I need to get some stuff done. So I don't know. We'll see. I need to see how far we're going to get today in Shadows also, but we'll talk about it. If you're not willing to spend a dime on expansions but are eager for novelties, the Heist and the Hazardous will arrive on May 9th alongside a free update that adds a new district to Santo Alesso. Sunshine Springs. The update will also include a photo mode and significant changes to combat mechanics to make it more exciting. Yeah, games available for PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Okay. I don't know. There you go. If you need anything out of it, there you go. System Shock publisher defends using AI to create artwork of the game's AI villain. The artwork was supposedly meant to start a conversation on AI. Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure, you know. Prime Matter has defended its decision to use AI software for an illustration of Shodan, the rogue AI villain of the publisher's upcoming System Shock remake. Last week, Prime Matter's social media account for System Shock shared artwork of Shodan given human form via a caption reading, "Imagine how would my immortal body look like?" Designed by an immortal machine for an immortal machine. As detailed by Prime Matter, the artwork was created using Midjourney AI software, but the irony of the System Shock publisher using AI to create artwork for a murderous AI was not lost on fans of the game. Quote, "I don't know if anyone told you guys, but the game is about evil AI," wrote one Twitter user. While a number of other replies have stated they will be canceling pre-orders of the game due to the use of AI. The use of AI in the world of art is controversial as AI software scrapes other artwork from the internet to generate images, with critics describing the process as plagiarism. On Monday, Prime Matter defended its use of Midjourney to create the artwork of Shadon and claimed it was an attempt at starting the conversation around AI. Yeah, nice pivot there. This was never about using AI to create artwork instead of using real people. This was about using AI to imagine what AI imagines itself to look like, argued the company. We will use AI again to create other pieces, including artwork. We may well use AI in other areas too. This will never be at the expense of using skilled people or their creative talents. However, System Shock fans remain unconvinced by Prime Matter's argument. Debates surrounding the ethics of AI are currently taking place across the wider entertainment industry, while the likes of Liam Gallagher and Grimes have shared approval for AI-created music. Nick Cave recently described its use as grotesque mockery of what it is to be human. Likewise, an AI version of Kurt Cobain singing a whole celebrity skin received a mixed reception from listeners. As for System Shock, Night Dive's remake is set to release later this month following a series of delays. Look, here's the thing, dude, and I'm going to stand by this. First of all, if you're wanting to, I guess no news is bad news, right? They've got this game coming out, and maybe this was just a ploy to get some more publicity for their title and stuff. But at the same time, if you were really wanting to just start a conversation about AI, state that. Even if you wanted to just generate the image using AI and then, put some kind of caption on it, be like, let's discuss AI artwork use and in entertainment today or something like that. They didn't do that though, So they kind of came up with a scapegoat answer, it seems like, where it was like, oh, well, we just wanted to, start a conversation about AI. Here's the deal, man. That is why it's a very controversial matter, is because that is what AI does, right? Yeah, fair. That's what AI does, right? It takes things that humans have done, and then it utilizes those things. Like if you're talking art specifically, just like this article pointed out, it'll take artwork that it'll scour the internet for specific images related to what you put into an engine for what you're trying to get that engine to spit out to you, right? If you want, like, I don't know, Superman with I don't know, Joker hair and clown shoes or something, then it's gonna it scours the internet for like images that people have done of Superman, and then images that people have done of, like, the Joker and of clown shoes and stuff, and then it takes all those and it takes these custom pieces of work that people have actually done. It's their own work. It scours the internet. It takes those and then it puts them in and blends them together and pushes out a piece of artwork that looks unique, when actually what it is a mashup of people's own work. I've said this for a while. When it comes to the gaming industry, I can see where AI can be very, very useful. But it's not a replacement for the human aspect of game design and game development. If you want to use AI, I understand it, right? But first and foremost, you have to have the creative side of humans being in there and creating the original assets for the game in the first place, whether it be the artwork or what have you, right? So if you want to take an AI engine and have it create additional things in the game, it should be creating things in the game based off of original assets that were created for that game in the first place, not creating things just willy-nilly that are just out there all over the place, right? I think that's where there has to be like this dividing line between what's being done and so, because I mean, dude, we've seen it. It's happening more. We saw it happened with High on Life used AI generated art in their game. It's happening more and more, right? So, and I can see its applications. You talk about games like Starfield, for example, that's supposed to be massive, a massive universe with all these different planets, which means you're talking all different kinds of life forms and minerals and substances and I mean things. I mean just all over the place. I mean as much as you can imagine, possibly, right? So what you're talking about is like, I guess what I'm trying to get across is getting people into the development process that come up with a huge, massive, original table of assets for what these planets could entail, life forms. You know what I mean? I mean, you name it, all substances and all kinds of matter or whatever, and you get these set up in these tables, and then if you can incorporate AI after that fact to utilize all those assets that have been originally created for that game and uniquely created for that game, to procedurally and generate more unique stuff by meshing some of those assets, and procedurally generating worlds out of new things, as the AI moves forward, then I don't see as big of a deal with it. But when you're totally removing the human uniqueness out of it, and you're just building off of things that people have done in the past, and it's not unique to the game that you're making currently, that is an issue. At least that's kind of the way I see it right now, right? I don't think there's anybody that's really going to debate the fact that AI in many forms and fashions is going to significantly make game development a more efficient thing moving forward. But you can't just take the human element out of it either. That's not going to work. And people are seeing through it, right? People are seeing through it right now. I mean, it's in the early stages too. So as AI moves forward, it'll get tougher and tougher and tougher because it'll get better and better. And VI referring to what? What's your acronym there? I'm not familiar. Or at least I'm just not recognizing it. Virtual intelligence. Yeah. I mean, it's not really AI. I agree. I mean, it's not like a sentient thing. You know what I mean? That's what I've always looked at AI as, is more of a sentient technological innovation that we would build. I mean, to an extent, it's like, yeah. I mean, it is more of like a virtual intelligence where it's like you can prompt it for things and it will react and output for you. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's not completely, artificial intelligence at this point. I would agree with that, But, for the sake of not confusing people and just staying. So I mean, yeah, I would totally agree with you, dude. I would totally agree with you. But this is what everybody's referring to it as, and it's a very good point to bring up, though. That's a very good point to bring up. I don't think you're wrong, and I should probably be bringing that up more often. Also, it's a very good point. So yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Now getting to the actual state of tried and true AI, what you and I view AI to be, Ferret, is a much scarier thing also. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, nice, dude. Yeah. AI, like true AI is a scary thing to me. Because ultimately, true AI is something that's going to be built by humans, and humans are flawed, and there will be errors in it. And I think those errors will lead to very, very bad things for us, as we've seen throughout like entertainment that has produced, what the potential of AI is in so many different aspects. That might be part of what scares me about it too. But well, that's a discussion for another time. But I mean, look, I mean, the I think that they wanting to pivot here and go, oh, we were just trying to create a conversation. If that's what you were really trying to get done, then you should have just said so in the first place. It's not a good look, right? When you know there's so much controversy going on right now about this kind of thing, to just push this out without, if that was your main kind of ploy there, and without stating it, that's what makes me feel like it probably wasn't. They just they came up with some kind of excuse on the back end after they started getting criticized for it. But I do think that people need to take a look at where AI, fits into the development process of gaming, where it is something that is viable and it is something that helps out to be a more efficient process for developers, and where it's actually something that is ethically not a good thing. It's an important discussion right now. It really is. I'll link this for you guys. Valorant team forfeits match due to player's addiction to Honkai Star Rail. I doubt this player is on that team anymore. Valorant esports team, I don't usually dive into these articles, but this is hilarious. A Valorant esports team, Ghost Commandos, was compelled to forfeit a VCL match in a strange series of events that left the gaming community puzzled. As it turns out, one of their players became so engrossed in playing Honkai Star Rail, a massively successful gacha game, that it has taken the world by storm. He completely forgot about installing the VCT client in time for the match. This resulted in their inability to play, and the game was eventually declared a forfeit in favor of their opponents, S2 Esports. Yeah, I've had a lot of people recommend that too. I've had a number of people recommend the Mass Effect game, so we might have to try to get them. They're on the sidebar of excuse me, of the schedule right now, so it's not like I mean, I'm interested in playing them. It's just not like at the top of the list, Wait, how do you know, dude? Are you talking about because of this? Is this why? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be because of that. I do very much enjoy selecting like the games that give me choices. I can't help myself, man. Yo, Peter, what's up, buddy? I can't help myself in games that give me choices. I like the kind of wild choices that the games will give you. I can't help myself, man. It's like curiosity killed the cat, kind of. It's like, I know I probably shouldn't pick this, but I also can't help myself. That's kind of the way it works for me. I'm really, really intrigued by some of those wild choices in games, and I like going that way. Oh, nice, dude. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get it in, man. I appreciate that recommendation. The incident occurred during the Valorant Challengers League, Taiwan, Hong Kong on May 2nd, and while some members of the community were understanding of the players' obsession with Honkai, others expressed concern over why the VCT client needed to be installed again during the middle of their regular season. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Apparently, the reason behind this was due to the league using 3 different clients, with each client being swapped between weekly. This week's client update was required to include Bind and a new skin set, making it nearly identical to the latest release. The update was the size of a normal client, but unfortunately, the distracted player failed to complete the installation on time. The community reaction to this event has been mixed, with some expressing sympathy and others expressing bewilderment. Fans jokingly remarked that 3D waifus take over, while others expressed concern over the impact that video game addiction can have on professional esports players. Despite the disappointment felt by Ghost Commandos, who finished 8th in this Challengers League season, the incident serves as a reminder to all teams to ensure that their players are fully focused, prepared for their matches to avoid distractions that may compromise their performance. Overall, this bizarre incident highlights the potential pitfalls of video game addiction and the importance of staying focused in the competitive gaming world. Dude, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing he's on contract, right? I'm guessing he's on contract, and I'm sorry, man, but like, how do you not even make sure ahead of time that like your client to play the game that you're playing competitively and probably on a team contract wise for isn't ready? You know, kind of wild. I had to read that though. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl gets short but refreshing gameplay in-engine video. GSC Game World has released a short but refreshing gameplay in-engine video for Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. And as the title implies, the video shows the main protagonist drinking a non-stop energy drink. As said, this is a short video, so don't expect much from it. Still, it's refreshing witnessing new in-engine gameplay footage from this upcoming title. My guess is that GSC Game World will also showcase an extended gameplay video for Stalker 2 at the upcoming Xbox Showcase in June. Stalker 2 aims to feature an epic, non-linear story. Furthermore, your choices will influence both short-term consequences and global outcomes. The game will take place inside the Chernobyl exclusion zone. It will have new locations along with the old ones. The game will be using Unreal Engine 5. Was originally targeting a release last year. But this is also a developer out of Ukraine, if I remember correctly. And so it got obviously delayed due to the fact of, you know, the Russian invasion and everything. And you know, they've but they've been able to relocate a lot of their studio and get running again, and if I remember reading all that correctly. Let's see what they got to offer here. Oh, this is it. Okay. Interesting. All right. If you need more. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? What? Okay. What's the mithril thing about? I don't even understand. Hold on. Yeah, I have no idea. No flipping clue what the mithril thing was about. Here, I got this. All right, dude. I don't know what the mithril thing was about. Maybe they're playing a game together or something. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl gets short but refreshing gameplay in-engine video. GSC Game World has released a short but refreshing gameplay in-engine video for Stalker 2, and that's what we just watched. And that's what I just linked. Did I link it? Did I get it linked? I didn't get it linked. I got distracted by Pinky. Sorry, guys. Here. There's a link if you need it. It's a very short video. Redfall review. Where did Bethesda go wrong? Look, dude, the only reason I brought this up is because I don't think, like, okay, so let's just take a quick talk about this. In this week's episode of the Game Informer show, the crew dives deep into our Redfall review, tries to pinpoint where Bethesda and Arcane Austin went wrong, and discusses the game's strengths and shortcomings. Later in the show, Charles shares his thoughts about Star Wars Jedi Survivor after beating it. And then Marcus talks about a new 2D Metroidvania called The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which is also doing terrible, if I remember correctly. I was going to play that, actually, and I pivoted away because it was having issues, too. Yeah, it's mixed now. It's gotten better, but it's still not looking great. So that's, yeah, unfortunately. Here. So the title, where did Bethesda go wrong? This should say Arcane, let's be honest. This should say Arcane. Arcane is the developer behind this game. Bethesda owns Arcane, and Bethesda Bethesda's the publisher. So if, to be fair, this this is a situation where Bethesda probably should have had some decent oversight into what was going on with this game. And if it didn't seem like it was moving in a great direction, they should have gotten in there and gotten things moving in the right direction, right? But this is, I've actually got a clip that will be up a little bit later on talking about this to an extent, where the clip, it's a clip from yesterday's news segment talking about how Microsoft had no involvement in the development of this game, and really they shouldn't have. And I mean, I'll be real honest with you. I don't think Bethesda has their own game that they're focused on. So, yeah, Arcane is under Bethesda, but Bethesda has their own game they're working on. And they're trying to make sure that Starfield is going to be the best it possibly can be. So, is it also their responsibility to make sure that, their games from the studios underneath them are going to be quality as well? Yeah. But Arcane has been a company that I don't think a lot of people were too concerned about, really. You talk about these companies that have traditionally shown they do a decent job of creating content and releasing games and stuff, and they get bought by other companies. Usually you don't want to see their parent companies mess with their process, right? So, unless something goes wrong, unless a development company starts having issues, you don't normally want to see the parent company, the company that has acquired them, really mess with the process too much, because you don't want to break. You don't want to try to fix something that's not broken. If you've ever heard that analogy or term or whatever, and Arcane's come out with some nice games. Yeah, Ferret. Yeah. Well, and this is like I kind of attribute this to. Yeah, it is. And so, I mean, to be fair, Bethesda, not only are they focused on their own game, which is Starfield, but they were probably like, look, Arcane, you guys you've got history of doing good things. We're going to let you run with it, right? Why would we want to get involved, really? I'm sure they've seen things here and there, but they're like, we trust you, right? Do what you've always done. We trust you. But they didn't hit the mark here. Now, I think now that we've seen what Arcane's done here, and let's be honest, this is a pretty big failure right now. There's probably going to be some consequences of this moving forward, right? Well, what's the mithril thing, dude? So there'll probably be consequences of this. They will probably be Arcane will probably be put on some kind of leash moving forward, right? To where they won't just have free reign anymore. They'll be watched more closely, and I would say Bethesda will probably have their hands into the development process of whatever projects happen with Arcane moving forward, because this looks very bad. It looks bad on Bethesda. It looks bad on Microsoft. So Microsoft owns Bethesda. Bethesda owns Arcane, right? That's kind of the way this works. No, dude, I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, Mithril was telling us about these bath salts that are supposed to be really, really good. Now I can't remember which ones they were. That's why he's looking for Mithril. Pinky's trying to take a bath right now, dude. Pinky's trying to take a nice soak. Yeah. I was like, why does he want Mithril so bad? Nah, I don't think that was it, dude. I don't think that was it. Let me see something. Jesus. Hold on. No, that wasn't it. Okay. I can't remember, dude. I can't remember. It wasn't like a brand. It was the actual chemicals. Um, I need to be salty enough to live, bro. Yo, True, what's up? Yeah, yeah. So Bethesda getting big. Well, here's the thing. I kind of I attributed this to the same situation that 343 Industries has found themselves in here recently. If you don't recall, so 343 is on top of the Halo stuff, right? So 343, or they have been anyways. And here recently, at the beginning of the year, Halo hasn't done too well of recent. And at the beginning of the year, Microsoft started laying off a lot of people in their company and in Xbox and their subsidiaries and stuff like that. And 343 had a lot of layoffs. And basically, what we read was that Microsoft came down and Xbox came down and told 343 Industries that, like, you're not really going to be in charge of Halo development anymore because they're just not happy with what's gone on in the game. It's like you'll basically what we read and what we heard was that Xbox and Microsoft came down to 343 and said, you're going to be more of a advisory role for the game. You'll kind of help with pointing, saying, yeah, this sounds like a good idea, or no, this doesn't sound like a good idea, but you're not going to really have any part of the development anymore. 343, I think, is pretty ticked off right now, but they haven't done a good job with the game. The game's not very successful right now, and Microsoft isn't happy. So Microsoft has now gotten involved, and they're going to put somebody else in charge of that game, the series and everything moving forward. And I think that's what ultimately, I think that really all you could ever hope is if you're part of a development company and you get bought out, right? You get bought out by another company. All you could ever hope was that you have the chance to continue to do what you've been doing. If you've been successful, and apparently you've been successful enough to want to be bought out by a bigger company, right? Then what you would hope is that you're able to continue to just do what you've been doing without, a whole lot of intervention from the parent company, right? So until, but when things go south, you've got to understand that, it's not just going south for you, and it's not just looking bad on you. It's looking bad and going south for the company that owns you too. So you've got to expect that they're going to start getting their hands dirty and messing with stuff, right? So I think that's just the reality of things that these development companies have to understand. And I think Arcane is in that position now. I think Arcane has, with Redfall, pushed out a very, very subpar product. And it looks bad on Bethesda. I think it looks bad on Xbox. It looks bad on Microsoft. And they're gonna, they're gonna be watched very closely and probably have a lot of Bethesda involvement and Xbox involvement in any kind of projects they do moving forward. That would be my assumption, anyways. Yo, Timmy, what's up? ML Trevor Chrono Odyssey. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, the visuals looked good to me, so I agree. I agree. There's a lot more that goes into a game just outside of the visuals, but I mean, visually, the game did look good. Well, and one of the things I was talking about is, I mean, even more concerning to me is like I have no idea that company in Pixel. I mean, what they've got like one other mobile game, so that's one of the things that it's like, uh, I thought the visuals of the game looked neat, but again, yeah, I mean, we know nothing else about the game. Visuals looked cool, but we know nothing else about the game. That I know nothing really about that developer or anything at all. So I mean, I'm not gonna write them off. You know what I mean? But we need to see a lot more about the game for sure. I don't think anybody was like looking at Chrono Odyssey when we took a look at it and went, "This game's gonna be awesome." It was a visually striking, you know. For gameplay, it looked really good visually, but I don't think anybody was trying to say that they thought it was going to be amazing just off of what they saw there. Yeah, you're not wrong, but I don't think any of us in here really were thinking that for sure. Um, and again, what I was saying from the get go is I don't know anything about NPixel. I always have a hard time like putting any kind of stock really into a game that I know nothing about the developer either. Um, and all I've seen them do, like they've got like one other mobile game, I think. So who knows, man? Who knows? Um, all right, Pinky. Um, well, yeah. I mean, the worst thing is to be bought just for your IPs and not for your results. Then, I mean, look. I mean, I guess that's something that, I mean, you as a company, if you're, if you're, if a company cared about that, then they wouldn't let a company buy them out for just their IP and not their results. You know, so that's kind of on the company to determine who they're going to let buy into them and what you know kind of stipulations are for how that business is going to a contract for being bought out and how it's going to be run moving forward and things like that. So to be fair, I mean, if all they care about's money, then then they're not gonna give a crap and they're just gonna let whoever buy them. But if they actually care about the parent company buying them, and that parent company being somebody who is invested in who they are because they they know they're a good developer and stuff, then they're going to wait for the right company to buy them out, right? So a big part of that comes down to just, are you invested in who your company is and letting the right company buy you out if you're looking to sell, and still do your thing? Or are you just totally blinded by being bought out by the most money or whatever, too? Yeah, well, and that's what I've been saying too, Tim Wynn, is like, and I've got a clip from yesterday's news segment that's going to be going up here pretty quick. It'll be public after this news segment, but it's all about you know that's what you want to see. But if a developer has come under another company, if they've gotten bought out but they've got a history of doing well, there's no. I mean, I think most of us want to see that. There's no point in seeing the parent company get in there and mess with stuff that doesn't need to be messed with. If that company that got bought, if they've got a history of doing things well, they should be able to continue doing what they do. You don't want to mess with that process. But if they start doing things badly, then you can only assume that those parent companies are going to start getting in there and taking control, right? So, Ready or Not back on Steam after accidental takedown. The popular early access tactical shooter Ready or Not was removed from Steam, sell on Steam for over an hour earlier today. This perplexed even the developers who, after this, the delisting posted on Steam stating, hold on guys, sorry. Oh, okay. All right, we're good. Sorry. Leadership has been made aware of the issue, and we are currently looking into exactly what has happened. Please keep all the talk of the issue in this thread so that we don't clog up the rest of the forum. The delisting happened at 1:25 p.m. Eastern. It returned to Steam at 2:40 p.m. Eastern. During the time it was down, one of the developers commented they were trying to determine if it was a technical issue or another legal issue similar to the 2022 situation, where it was taken down due to a DMCA claim. Funnily enough, while in the case that they initially mistakenly identified as Steam backend issue being behind the takedown, something similar was actually the cause this time. And a final update on the case, one of the developers explained, "Yep, thankfully it was an error on Steam's end. They updated our store page based on some requested changes from a country's rating board and just hit the wrong button. Just a simple mistake. Minor changes can sometimes happen on a page, are typically invisible, but in this case they were very visible. It was especially notable in part because Ready or Not's courting controversy due to mention of the possibility of doing a school shooter level in the past. I remember that. This is a charged topic with the base premise of shooting at a school. Given the number of school shootings in the USA and ongoing debates about the role of SWAT and police officers in those cases, Ready or Not released in early access in early last year, the beginning of last year, getting high marks for tactical gunplay and creating a SWAT-type experience. Its realism and potential levels have unnerved some, with our previewer noting that the game kind of freaked him out, though it was already pretty far along even a year ago. Yeah, unfortunately, man, I mean, it's a plague in the U.S. Access of firearms and school shootings, and I mean just violence everywhere. Really, I mean it is terrible, dude. So yeah, we've read some of that going on with that game for a while. Mortal Kombat 2 set to cast the boy star Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Well, I said this earlier when we brought this up, and I even brought up pictures side by side. I'll do it again, dude. Check this out. I'm sorry, but Carl Urban is absolutely closer to Kano for me than any other Mortal Kombat character. I mean, look at this. Look at traditional Kano. You know what I mean? And look at Carl Urban, dude. Come on, man. It just seems right. I don't know. But what do I know, dude? What do I know? I'm just a flippin' video game nerd. Mortal Kombat 2 set to cast boy star Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Mortal Kombat 2 is reportedly in final talks with the boys actor Carl Urban for the role of Johnny Cage. Mortal Kombat franchise is one of the biggest, most iconic franchises in all of gaming, and part of that is thanks to its cinematic appeal. Well, on top of it, of just being a great and excessively violent fighting game series filled with great characters, it also has some of the better movie adaptations. While they're not perfect, the original film from the 90s is widely regarded as one of the best of its kind, and the recent reboot from 2021 also found commercial success, even if it wasn't a slam dunk with critics. Dude, the 90s one was so dope. So dope. You know why, dude? Chris Evans will always be Captain America to me, and I hate that flipping character. I hate Captain America, dude. And that's all I can ever see him as. A lot of people love Captain America. I know. A lot of people love Captain America. I can't stand it, dude. I can't stand Captain America. With that said, Mortal Kombat 2 has been in the works since 2021, and it seems like we're closer than ever to finally seeing it. The first film teased Johnny Cage would appear in the sequel, and it looks like that's going to pay off. As reported by The Wrap, The Boys and Star Trek star Carl Urban is in final talks to star as Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2. Seems to be further confirmed by film producer Todd Garner tweeting the news himself. Unclear how big of a role he'll have in the film, but it seems like he'd be part of the main cast and not just a throwaway cameo, since they're eyeing big talent for the role, and Cage is one of the most prevalent characters in the games. In the games, Johnny Cage has a romantic relationship with Sonya Blade, so we may see that start to develop in this film. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I just, I'm sure he'll do really well. I like Carl Urban. I'm sure he'll do really well as Johnny Cage. Oh god, dude! I think he'd be such a dope Kano. It's like as immediately whenever I saw this, I was like, dude, how is he not playing Kano? I could just see it, dude. I could just see him playing Kano, dude. Born for what role? For Johnny Cage? Is that what you think, Peter? It's interesting. GeForce Now will be adding 15 games in May, 2 new titles this week. When you fire up your favorite game, you're playing it instantly. That's what it means to be game ready on GeForce Now. The experience has been optimized for cloud gaming and includes game-ready driver performance improvements. NVIDIA manages the game updates and patches. And when a game supports RTX, you can play it on GeForce Now with beautifully ray-traced graphics and DLSS 2. He was born... Oh, you talking about Chris Evans for Captain America? Yeah. I mean, I think he did a good job in it. That's all I can see him as now. I just don't like the character. He's just so goody, rah, try hard boy. It drives me crazy. I hate it. Yo, Kayla. Yeah. We had a good game last night. Yeah. It was nice. Uh-huh. Yeah, feels good. We just got to keep it up. Keep that intensity up. Yeah, I know, Ferret. I know. That's why I don't like him, though. It's just it doesn't, it doesn't mesh with my personality, dude. And so I don't dig the character, and then so like, you know, and I think Chris Evans is a good actor and everything, but that's like all I can ever see him as, is because I'm not a fan of that character, and like since Chris Evans played him forever, it's like that's all I see Chris Evans as, is just raw goody try hard Captain America boy, you know. No, to be fair, Superman's had some pretty evil sides to him. I've never really taken a dive into like either of those characters real hard. But yeah, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have, I'm not like a big Superman fan either. I like him more with Henry Cavill playing him. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't, dude? Come on, man. It doesn't even matter if you like dudes or not. You can't. You can't say no, dude. Henry Cavill just too pretty, bro. But yeah. Superman's okay. I don't know. It's not. He's not. Superman's not something I gravitate towards very much either, though. Yeah. Christopher Reeve's Superman. Yeah. Again, it's just that's not one of those characters I ever got into very much. Superman either, because of he's traditionally that. And I'm like, that just it's not really for me, dude. Superman blows Cap out of the water. Yeah, I would agree with that one too, though. Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment too, Peter. Yeah, to each their own, man. I mean, neither one of them are really my jam. Give me the Joker. Give me the Joker, dude. Or even closer, Wolverine. All right, give me Wolverine. All right, something like that. I'm much closer to aligning with like anti-heroes or even villains. I like villains a lot, dude. Anti-heroes are dope though. I like anti-heroes. You know. Yeah, anti-heroes are more my jam, dude. I like anti-heroes a lot. I was always a big fan of Wolverine growing up. I liked Wolverine a lot. There are even some heroes that I actually liked, even growing up, before they even turned all the superhero stuff into like the cinematic universes and everything. Like I liked Iron Man before I had anything to do with like Robert Downey Jr. and everything, which I think Robert Downey Jr. I can't see in them casting anybody to play that role better than him. I'm telling you, man. That was what a great casting for Iron Man. Jesus. Like I've always liked Iron Man. I've always liked Wolverine. But dude, I've always been a fan of like the Joker and stuff too. I've just DC villains greater than heroes. Yo, I am down with that, Kayla. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, yeah. Deadpool's sick, dude, and they're making the third one, and it's gonna have Wolverine in it, dude. Isn't that great? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. was perfect for Iron Man. Yeah, Batman. Uh, as long as it's not flipping Ben Affleck. As long as it's not Ben Affleck, dude. Uh, I'll even take Twilight Batman over Ben Affleck Batman, Oh god, dude. I'm just not a big Ben Affleck fan, really. So me seeing him play Batman, dude. Batman, I loved Michael Keaton, dude. Michael Keaton's Batman was dope, dude. I like but I grew up watching that Batman, so that was like I liked Michael Keaton's Batman. Uh, yeah. Deadpool 3 is gonna be really good too, dude. Michael Keaton did a great job, and flipping what's his name, dude, from American Psycho. Yeah, his Bruce Wayne wasn't as good. I agree. I liked his Batman. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Ferret. American Psycho. Why can't I think of his name right now? The dude, the guy that played all the Batman from all the Dark Knight stuff and everything. God, I can't think of his name right now. I liked him. I thought he did a good job, dude. I thought he did a good job in that Batman. Christian Bale. Yeah, Christian Bale was a great Bruce Wayne, dude. He really was. He's a flipping fantastic actor, by the way. Christian Bale is a good flipping actor, dude. He's a really good actor. Let's get back into this news. We got off on a flipping tangent there. Yeah, I don't know. I respect it, dude. A lot of people, and I get it. A lot of people love the to just end this kind of conversation here. A lot of people love superheroes, man. I get it. I understand it. A lot of people gravitate towards the superhero thing. So I understand the appeal for like characters like Captain America and but for me it's just not there. It never has been. Ever since I was young, it's been more of a like an anti-hero vibe for me. If not, I had a thing for certain villains too. I just there's something about villains that I just dug. I thought were cool. You know, uh, something about that like I guess uh kind of the revolt, I guess, going against authority and stuff, there's something about that. I was a gnarly kid too though. So that's probably why it appealed to me, Uh Adam West, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bell has done a lot of stuff. Oh, you hated Christian Bell as Batman? Really, Kayla? Bell has done, if you look at the different things that he's done to transform his body for different roles, Peter, it's insane. There's a movie out there called The Mechanic. Have you seen this? Uh, the mechanist. I mean, this. Look at how skinny he is in this, dude, and look how much weight he's gained in other movies and stuff. And yeah, he got thick for Batman too. He was only eating an apple a day to lose weight for this role. He was 110 pounds in this movie right here. He's done a lot of this body transformation stuff. But if you take a look, look how skinny he was, dude. If you haven't seen this movie's wild. That's his Batman role. This was how big he got for what was that movie? Who did he play in that? It was like a president or something, right? He's done a lot of body transformation stuff. It is dangerous. It is dangerous if you're not doing it. I mean, look, there are more healthy ways and less healthy ways, but it can always be dangerous, right? So let's be honest. But he's devoted to his craft, dude. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? And he's a very good actor. Very good actor. All right, let's get back into this. Sorry, guys. We'll start this one over. When you fire up your favorite game, you're playing it instantly. That's what it means to be game ready on GeForce Now. The experience has been optimized for cloud gaming and includes game ready driver performance improvements. NVIDIA manages the game updates and patches, and when a game supports RTX, you can play it on GeForce Now with beautifully ray traced graphics in DLSS 2. The GeForce Now library is ever growing. In an effort to help spotlight the games that are coming to the service, we're moving to a monthly cadence for announcing new instant access games. Games will continue to be released every week with new game launches available day and date, and back catalog games released each Thursday. But our members and your readers will now be able to learn about what's coming a little further in advance. GFN Thursday gets the summer started early with two newly supported games this week and 15 more coming later this month, including Lord of the Rings Gollum. Two new games joining the cloud this week. Age of Wonders 4. Nice. It's doing pretty well. Tinwin's been playing that. Showgunners. I think it's what is Age of Wonders 4 at right now, by the way? Let's take a look. Um, 82% positive, over 2,700 reviews. It's pretty good, pretty good. They're probably still working out some kinks in it right now, so that'll probably go up a little bit more. That's a pretty solid. That's pretty solid right now. Not bad. Much better than we've seen a lot of games release right now, right? So, and then Showgunners. The rest of the titles on their way in May will be Occupy Mars, TT Isle of Men, Far Cry 6, Tin Hearts, Outlast Trials, Warhammer 40,000, Bolt Gun, Blooming Business Casino, Railway Empire 2, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Above Snakes, System Shock, Conqueror's Blade, Lawn Mowing Simulator, Patch Quest, and The Ascent. They have a list of all the games that came for April and everything too. So if you guys need more about what's on GeForce Now, I'll link it for you. Okay. You installed your ears, sick dude. What's up, man? The Newsies? I don't know if I've seen that. Sodium chloride, is that what it was? That sounds kind of right, dude. I knew it was sodium something, and sodium chloride sounds like it might have been it. We'll have to ask, but it's a musical, is it? Nice. All right. Right on. Cool. Glad you got your ears, Pinky. Fantastic. Just making great games won't change Xbox console market share, says Spencer. Well, of course not. Again, look, if you didn't know, Xbox has never done close to what Nintendo has ever done or Sony has ever done in hardware sales. Usually about half of what Sony does in PlayStation. While claiming that the console is the core of the Xbox brand, Microsoft's head of gaming has reiterated the company needs to focus on the wider gaming market if it's to be successful. Yeah, look, their big they actually lose money on their hardware. Also, by the way, if you didn't know that, they lose money on all of their consoles. So their play to get it's branding. It's branding. It's getting people onto their platform and is sodium chloride? Just I thought that I didn't think that was just regular salt though. Is it? It is the chemical name for salt, dude. Yeah. Yo. Okay. Well played. My bad. Well, then maybe he was talking about something else being in there with it, dude. Yeah, I'm not a chemist. I just always referred to like salt as like sodium. That's how smart I am. Shh, don't tell anybody I'm a three head, okay? Nobody knows that. All right. While claiming that the console is the core of the Xbox brand, Microsoft's head of gaming has reiterated the company needs to focus on the wider gaming market if it's to be successful. During the Kind of Funny Games XCast podcast, Spencer was asked if Xbox had taken its eye off the console market by focusing too much on PC. In response, Spencer said Microsoft would be wrong to think that just building great console titles could help it overtake Sony and Nintendo in terms of hardware sales. Instead, it has chosen to pursue a different strategy to the Japanese companies, one focused on fulfilling a developer's vision of enabling customers to play their games on any screen. Hey, look, it's Hod Towered. We're not in the business of out-consoling Sony or out-consoling Nintendo. There isn't really a great solution or win for us. I know that will upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth of the matter that when you're third place in the console market and the top two players are as strong as they are and have in certain cases a very, very discreet focus on doing deals and other things that kind of make Xbox hard for us as a team, that's on us, not anybody else. He added, I see commentary that if you just built great games, everything would turn around. No, it's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. Yeah. Yeah. Basically what this comes down to is elsewhere in the interview, Spencer apologized for the launch state of Xbox's latest big first-party release, Redfall, which he said he expected to review better. Basically, what this comes down to for Xbox, right, is if it has not become apparent to everybody, Xbox is not focused on trying to compete with like Nintendo and PlayStation on the front of hardware. They've obviously been setting the mold for other applications in the gaming industry, subscription service, cloud gaming, that kind of stuff. Now, their hardware is a way for people to get into their branding and their those kinds of applications a bit easier, right? So they've known for a long time they weren't going to be on the same level, like a level playing field with Sony and Nintendo when it came to hardware. And their first party titles, the reason they need those to be successful is because their subscription service, one of the biggest benefits of their subscription service over somebody like Sony's is that you get their day one first party title, their proprietary titles hit their subscription service day one, whereas PS Pluses don't, right? So if they want to keep bringing people into the subscription service, right, this is kind of the big difference between them and PlayStation. Xbox's big play for great first-party titles is to get people to buy into their subscription service and their cloud gaming stuff as opposed to their hardware, which is what Sony does. Sony's big play for first-party titles and their proprietary stuff is for their hardware, their console, as opposed to their subscription. So it's just a different. It's like flipped for both of those companies, right? Xbox has had to find a different way to compete, which is what their subscription service and the cloud gaming stuff is, because they knew they wouldn't be able to compete on the same front that that PlayStation and Sony always has. So, it is important that they have these big, nice, successful first-party games because it's important for them to keep people into their subscription service. It's just not important for the hardware side of things for them. It hasn't been for a long time. If you need more, I didn't read all that. There's a lot of quotes in there from Phil Spencer. So swamped at work. That sucks, Kayla. I'm sorry. What? Why'd you? Yo, dude. Yo, everybody go check out Pinky. Throw a follow. Throw a follow to Pinky there. Good shout out. Self shout out. Good stuff, dude. All right, dude. Let's go. Bungie wins $12 million lawsuit against Romanian cheat seller over veteran cheats in Destiny 2. Shout out my PC. The widely popular, the PC deserves a shout out. Yo, he's doing work every single day. Working hard. Deserves it. The widely popular multiplayer video game developer Bungie has recently won a $12 million lawsuit after a legal conflict against a Romanian cheat seller. The complaint was filed in 2021 when Bungie sued Mihai Cladi Florentin for developing, I butchered that, I know, developing and selling a cheat called Veteran Cheats to users. The software apparently allowed players to gain unfair advantages over regular players by having extremely accurate aiming and seeing through walls. Wall hacks and aim assist. Right? Two of the most common shooting hacks ever, right? Except on Apex, true. I blame Apex, though. Which violated multiple copyright acts, including the Digital Millennium Copyright. We actually got something up on Apex right now. Bungie claimed that the veteran cheat software ruined the enjoyment of the game and reduced potential in-game revenues. They sought a total of $12,059,912.98 in damages. That's US, including the charge of $2,000 for each of the 5,848 times the cheat was downloaded by players. The court finds that the default judgment is appropriately entered in Bungie's favor, as to all but the CPA claim, the official ruling read. In addition to paying the total sum, Claudio Florentin was also permanently banned from causing any more Destiny 2 violations in the future. This is not Bungie's first lawsuit regarding cheating software, as they have a string of lawsuits filed against individuals, including aim junkies Lavi Cheats, and Elite Boss Tech, with most being won by Bungie. Bungie does not screw around, dude. They do not mess around. They wreck people and companies that mess with their game and their content. Bungie is dedicated to maintaining the quality of their game, which is justified considering the amount of time and energy put into producing and developing a game. Yeah. According to Video Games Chronicle, Bungie's Deputy General Counsel James Barker stated the company has been spending a minimum of US $2 million for game security staffing and software to tackle in-game cheating issues. My dark past. Yeah. Yeah, Peter agreed. Yeah. Look, we've talked about the whole cheating thing in here a lot. So there's a difference. Like a lot of us grew up with like those single player games where there were like command line cheats and stuff like that, and you'd mess around with stuff and whatever, dude. Somebody wants to go mess around in a single player game and just have some fun. Do your thing. It's not affecting anybody else. But when you start talking about these online competitive games with these communities built around them, it's unacceptable. It ruins the communities. It ruins the games. Basically, it's a bunch of soft-ass gamers that sometimes it might be some trolls, but a lot of times it's just soft gamers that can't stand losing, and so they use hacks to not lose because they don't want to get good, So, oh, dude, it was so close, Ferret. Oh, crappers, man. Random vote, let's go. So, it's not acceptable, dude. It sucks. Are you kidding me, dude? What? Somebody win this, dude. Come on, man. Somebody, come on. Random up. It's not acceptable, dude. It sucks. And as far as I'm concerned, people that cheat in like online games, online competitive games, live service games, whatever, you should all get wrecked. And the companies that produce the cheats, they should all get wrecked too. Come on, guys. Random vote time. Let's go. Tokyo, Japan, May 4th. Are you a fan of anime? You definitely do not want to miss the upcoming anime game debut of Japan-based Meta Tokyo Studios sci-fi fantasy Chromata. The first chapter of this ambitious stellar production with a wide cast of spectacular anime characters is finally set to launch on Kickstarter on May 19th. Be part of the amazing journey of new legendary anime heroes in the making. Chromata is an FPS and role-play combat game inspired by a masterpiece intergalactic fantasy story. Storyline is based on the super soldiers called Blade Sweepers as they fight for freedom and justice at a time when hundreds of star colonies, city-states with myriad factions, tribes, and governments are caught in the ensuing Chromian revolution of the Democrian Republic against the Zygerian Imperium. Bro, say all that 10 times fast. Holy crap. The greatest battle in the stars has just begun. The Kickstarter campaign offers unique rewards for Chromata's backers, such as a physical manga copy of the maiden issue of Red Blade, tracing the origin of the Blade Sweepers before the Chromian Revolution. It also offers supporters the option to become a major sponsor of the video game, as well as being able to have his own in-game character as a permanent cast of Chromata. To learn more about the Kickstarter and supporting Chromata's crowdfunding campaign, they've got links and everything. Okay. If you're interested, take a look. Oh, really? Jesus, dude. Former SimCity developers launched a new city builder today, but sadly, it's not on PC. It looks so generic. Cityscape Sim Builder is a new mobile city game. Oh, that's why. Sorry, dude. Mobile city building game exclusive to Apple Arcade. Well, look, let's go ahead and put this back here. We'll read this with the Apple Arcade stuff. A premium DLC and a free major update announced for a Suzerain. Does anybody know what Suzerain is? I've never heard of this. I don't think. Political RPG Suzerain will be adding the 2.0 Amendment Update and Kingdom of Rizia DLC later this year. It was announced today by developer Torpor Games in a blog post detailing more info. Check it out. The 2.0 Amendment Update offers players an even more immersive gameplay experience with new features, including world map integration and new interactions, more story content around the constitutional amendment, Blutish rights, and the former presidents. 2.0 introduces Torpor Mode, which allows manual saving for new games and completing the game once, the single most requested feature from players. And much more to be revealed at the release. The Kingdom of Rizia Premium DLC takes players on a new journey 4 years before the events of the main game to explore the unique geopolitical and internal challenges faced by King Ramus Taurus of Rizia. In this premium extension of Suzerain, players will encounter new challenges, meet with new characters, and shape the future of the kingdom. DLC marks a new chapter in the Suzerain universe and promises a unique and captivating experience with a fresh narrative perspective of a monarch. Experience rulership of a monarchy from the perspective of King Ramus Taurus of Rizia. Tackle many geopolitical challenges. Navigate an intricate web of political and personal relationships. Experience the trials and tribulations of being part of a royal family. Discover the past president of the Kingdom of Rizia. All right. If you need more here, I've never heard of this. Phone is made just for card games. And Snake, dude. You're wrong. Best game ever on mobile was Snake. So not just card games. You take that back, sir. You take that back right now. And Minesweeper, I'll accept that also. And Diablo Immortal. Too soon? Wait, what? What is wrong with my flipping chat, dude? You didn't say smartphones. You said phone is made just for card games. Tetris pretty good on mobile, is it, Peter? Apparently, people can't quit playing Honkai Star Rail right now, or whatever the name of that game is. Yo, and brick phones were okay. Well, I mean, you didn't discern that, sir. You didn't state that in your original statement. So, this was an overarching statement about games on phones. And you stated that just card games were appropriate, and I disagreed. Snake. I would still play Snake on phones to this day. I'm just saying. And Minesweeper. Minesweeper's a great game. Clash of Clans, really? I never played it. Okay. Well, there's that. Apex Legends developer reveals single line of code to blame for audio bug. It's probably it probably was referring to Tether instead of Tether, right? Respawn has detailed its quest to fix a bug that's been plaguing players since February. Yo, by the way, that Diablo Immortal reference there, I can't believe Ferret didn't chime in. He's got to be busy right now. What? What are you talking about, dude? Respawn Entertainment has revealed that a single line of code has been responsible for a months-long audio issue in Apex Legends, though it has since been fixed. As detailed on Reddit, Respawn community manager Amy Thyssen explained that since February, the developer has noticed certain sound effects, such as grenade explosions or gunshots, were not being played. Respawn theorized the bug was linked to the fact that only 128 effects can be run per server frame, and and a malfunctioning effect was using up all of those spaces, therefore pushing out the sound effects players were missing. However, Thiessen admitted to trying to find the cause meant finding a needle in a haystack, as thousands of changes were made with every season update. Respawn's metric system was also failing to spot any issues, which left the studio with minimal leads internally, despite recognizing the issue was affecting players. Eventually, Respawn was able to confirm effects were being cut off by creating unrealistic test cases, such as 50 characters firing their weapons at the same time, following even more tests. Studio found that a single line of code was identified to be the root cause of the issue. The culprit was the Nemesis, a weapon that was added to Apex Legends in February, according to Thiessen. The weapon has a line of code that halts the gun's particle effects while the weapon is uncharged. But due to a bug, every player carrying a Nemesis was creating a stop particle effect at every frame. After identifying the issue, Respawn was able to issue a fix last week. However, the anecdote serves as a reminder that makes games far harder than it sounds. As Thiessen pointed out, a minute of players playing Apex is the equivalent of 10 testers playing the game for a year. In other game news, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0 are getting a major update next week, which we already talked about yesterday or the day before. Yeah. Barrett, well played. Shadow Man Dark Legacy brings back the Shadow Man to video games. Shadow Man hasn't had a video game since '99, but the successful run of its remaster in 2022 gave birth to Shadow Man Dark Legacy. Take a look. The Voodoo Hazard. Yo, alright, buddy. I'm hungry, guys. Need food. Need food. Shadow Man. Shadow Man is a popular comic book series, having sold over 5 million copies worldwide, but its $19.99 game Shadow Man for the PC, PlayStation, and 64 didn't really perform very well commercially. However, the game's unique atmosphere and gameplay allowed it to gain a cult following, which grew so much that a remastered version for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch was eventually released in January. That return to video game convinced Blowfish Studios that there's still a market for Shadow Man video games, and that there's a clamor for a new game to be released on modern consoles. Hence, Shadow Man Dark Legacy was born. As an action role-playing video game, Shadow Man Dark Legacy follows Jack Boniface, a newly baptized Shadow Man, telling a new story that opens a new chapter in the comic book series developed over the past decades by Valiant Comics. Players will get to duel against a horrific cast of enemies in challenging visceral combat. From cultists to necromancers, players will face wretched creatures that have slithered forth from the most desolate depths below, but Shadow Man is anything but a helpless victim, as he himself can stand toe-to-toe with these monstrous beasts, use a variety of weapons to vanquish them, sending them all back to hell. As the Shadow Man, Jack can move from the Shadow Realm and the Mortal Realm at will. Players will get to explore detailed environments across 2 realms, which open doors to unique environmental puzzles. Each one of these worlds that Jack will explore will have a thick atmosphere with nerve-fraying tension, fortified by its cast of enthralling characters. Shadow Man Dark Legacy will eventually be available on PC through Steam and the Epic Games Store, PS5, and the Xbox Series X, but a release date has not been announced. Shadow Man. Here you go. Good old Shadow Man. Broken games and exorbitant GPUs. PC gaming is rough right now, and meanwhile, console gamers have it pretty good. Overall, I would agree with this, yeah. I've kind of talked about this. It does seem like more often than not, if a game's going to be performing poorly, it's performing poorly on the PC platform over other platforms. Again, I think a big part of this is because most games are being focused on in the development process as console specifically, and then being ported to PC before release, and not specifically taken in as a the same way. They're not being addressed the same way in the development process as they are for console. So instead of them being developed for each specific platform, you get developed for specific console platforms, and then you get a port to PC, and it just feels like trash. PC gaming isn't very fun right now. At least it's not if you love keeping up with big game launches or looking to upgrade your graphics card. As PC ports go, 2023 has been a dismal year for folks who just want to play blockbuster games without a hiccup. Forspoken, Dead Space, and Resident Evil 4 remakes. Yo, I thought. I mean, look, I didn't play RE4 or Dead Space on release, but I really thought that, I knew that like Dead Space and RE4 had maybe some a few issues, but they weren't anything along the lines of like Forspoken or The Last of Us Part 1 or Jedi Survivor. To be fair, we shouldn't ever expect games to be released with significant issues in any capacity, right? Oh my god. Look at this. Yo, hey guys. Everybody say, hey, bye bot. Get wrecked, bot. Bye bot. Get wrecked, idiot. See you later. So, I don't think it's necessarily fair to put Dead Space and RE4 in the same basket as like Forspoken, Last of Us Part 1, Jedi Survivor, Wild Hearts, Wolong. I mean, I'm forgetting some too. I'm quite sure of it, but I don't think any of us expect a game to be flawless on release. And so Redfall, you know. But there's I think a big difference between most of those that I listed there and something like Dead Space and RE4. I don't recall Dead Space and RE4 having the same kinds of issues on release that all those other ones had. Nice, dude. GG's. Sick. Congratulations. Save some for me. The recent launch of Star Wars Jedi Survivor continued the abysmal trend. The shader compilation and traversal stuttering issues, poor implementation. Dude, Hogwarts Legacy as well. Trash on PC. Poor implementation of AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2 upscaling tech. Underutilization of the CPU and GPU. Digital Foundry ended up dubbing it the worst AAA PC port of 2023 so far for its many transgressions, and then a mere days after the flaming disaster, Redfall also launched into shambles. Yeah. Bad console ports aren't the only indignity PC gamers are suffering right now. A subset of Call of Duty players found that the Season 3 patch for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 broke those games completely, with AMD Vega-based graphics card owners, including people on APUs with integrated graphics, left out in the cold. In desperation, one such affected gamer even sent a pizza to the developer's office with the message, "Help Vega, please." Oh, Jesus. You can only imagine what that person was thinking when crossing the line of normal communication. Possibly, maybe if I feed them, they will have the energy to fix the game for us. Poor Vega owners. They were a loyal minority when AMD was still working on its return to fighting shape, and this is their thanks. Speaking of graphics cards, hardware hasn't been so fun to navigate over the past few years either. First came the pandemic squeeze, in which the miners swooped in and bought up most everything, causing short supply and astronomical street prices. Then when availability improved, suggested retail prices didn't. If you were formerly a mid-tier graphics card buyer, what you'll pay now for GPUs is much higher than before, even accounting for inflation. 3 generations ago, NVIDIA's 70 class cards cost less than $400. The GeForce 1070 was $380 US roughly in 2016. about $475 in today's currency, but the or today's market. But the current GeForce 4070 is an eye-watering $600 at list price, or 26% more than the inflation-adjusted price of the 1070. And as we all know, inflation has been wild over the last year. Had it stayed more normal, the jump in MSRP would have been even bigger. If your budget hasn't increased with time, you'll have to drop down to a lower class of graphics card than when upgrading. Well, maybe. If you can afford more than $200, you'll have options. But as you can see in our recommendations for the best graphics cards, but under $200, well, your main choices are an old graphics card or hopping over to the console side of the fence. Our resident graphics card guru and boss man, Brad, Chacos, recently snagged a deal on an Xbox Series S for $150. That's a whole gaming machine for less than the cost of a graphics card, with less likelihood of running into annoying performance issues in games, which sucks. The best you can do is find a catharsis in hearing other people voice your own frustrations with the situation, which, for the record, the PC World staff does in a recent episode of The Full Nerd. One of the things discussed Sony as a central figure in the bad ports. Yeah. Given my recent return to console gaming, I'm insulated from a lot of these issues. About all I use my PC for these days is playing Overwatch 2 with friends, and that game can run on a potato. Possibly literally while working on the other article. I found that Overwatch 2 sort of works on 5-year-old basic integrated graphics, but I'm not smug or gleeful about it. After the pandemic years, these circumstances are difficult to watch and must be an even harder pill to swallow. Unfortunately, dude, what this is doing is feeding into the issue, though. And look, I know it's not easy. It's not an easy thing either. But by people going, well, they're just not going to make good games, for PC, then I'll just have to go buy a console and then play those games on console. That's just feeding into the ploy. And it's just making things worse for the platform that you prefer. For people that prefer PC, to just give in and go, well, if they're not going to make it good for PC, then I'll just go buy a console. You're just feeding the monster, man. That sucks. But I mean, this article's not wrong. It's a terrible situation. We've seen some games come out that are bad across all platforms, but more often than not, when a game comes out across all platforms, and if it's gonna be bad on any platform, it's gonna be bad on PC, which is dumb, and it sucks. And this is what we gripe about it all the time. I've gotten so many. Don't worry, I won't eat it all. Okay, thanks, dude. I've got so many articles up right now, and we talk about it all the time in the news segment about how terrible it is. Because for me, being somebody, and I've expressed this sentiment a lot too, as somebody who has seen how scummy the console side of the market has gotten, and it's made me so grossed out. And as somebody who grew up playing consoles and PC over the past decade, and especially over the past 5 years, I don't do hardly any console gaming anymore because it's so disgusting. No backwards compatibility. They want you to double dip all the time, triple dip. They want you to buy into having to pay for their online services, to play on their platform when you're already buying into their platform. It doesn't make sense, man. You name it. Expansion cards for storage that cost triple the price of what actual storage costs. There's so much scummy stuff that goes on in the console side of things that I'm just over it, dude. I'm not buying into it anymore. But it does feel really bad whenever, we're constantly having to deal with the side of things of games are quite often fine on console, but the same game is trash on PC. That sucks. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I'm not going to buy into it, dude. They can get wrecked. It's really gross. All right, here we go. Good old Apple Arcade adds 20 more games, including an exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-op title, which I have an article up about that too. Some indie classics have joined the service, such as Limbo and Getting Over It. Apple has bulked up the Apple Arcade games library with another 20 classic, new and classic titles. Among the additions is an exclusive co-op Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. The TMNT Splintered Fate. You and some allies can battle your way through a litany of enemies as you look for Splinter, who's gone missing. It's a roguelike brawler. It'll be different every time you play. You'll be able to combine the turtles' attacks with randomized power-ups, get some help from friends such as April and Casey Jones. It's worth noting that TMNT Shudder's Revenge, a retro-style beat-em-up that arrived last year, is also available on mobile, though you'll need a Netflix subscription to play it on iOS or Android. Also new is What the Car. The latest title from What the Golf and What the Bat, Studio Tri-Band. This time around, you'll control a car, take part in races. If you've played Tri-Band's previous games, you'll know what to expect. Some absurd and probably funny twists. For one thing, the car has legs. What?
What the car?
Is that Pickles? I'm hungry.
What the car? What the car? What the car?
Oh, that looks fun. All right, cool. Yeah, it's different for sure, dude. Yeah, it looks fun. Apple has added several Disney titles to arcade, including Words with Friends style Disney Spellstruck, 3D sticker book creator Disney Coloring World Plus, and Match 3 puzzle game Disney Getaway Blast Plus. Elsewhere, Apple Arcade subscribers now have access to a 4K version of Temple Run and ad-free Snake.io and Farming Simulator 20. Other classic indies are available to Apple Arcade subscribers at no extra cost starting today as well, including the brilliant Limbo and tough physics-based platformer Getting Over It. In addition, you'll be able to check out Octodad Dadliest Catch, which was just free on Steam here recently, from Young Horses, whose charming Bug Snacks is also coming to iOS this summer. More than 200 games on Apple Arcade at this moment. Even so, this marks a significant expansion of the library. Meanwhile, Netflix recently, yeah, we knew about that. Not diving into that. Oh, hold on. I'll link that to you guys. Hold on. Here, if you need this. We've got a couple. So here's the TMNT Splintered Fate, Hades-inspired Ninja Turtle roguelike. This is the one we were just talking about that's on the Apple Arcade stuff. Did you play and love Hades from Supergiant Games? Well, it seems like folks at Super Evil Megacorp, Vainglory did too, and the studio has simultaneously announced and released TMNT Splintered Fate, a roguelike dungeon crawler based on TMNT exclusively for Apple Arcade. Let's take a look. Oh, it doesn't have a video. Interesting. Action game design with an isometric perspective, TMNT Splintered Fate takes on the ambitious task of weaving an engaging, ongoing narrative that persists and unravels as you attempt and likely fail multiple runs of procedurally generated dungeons, much like Hades. Oh, the story of Splintered Fate is penned by Tom Waltz, a writer known for his work on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics, among many other titles, including the critically acclaimed The Last Ronin, which has also been confirmed for a blockbuster video game adaptation. Yeah, cool, man. This is really interesting. I'm really excited about this. While TMNT Splintered Fate can be played as a single-player game, it will support drop-in, drop-out cooperative multiplayer, allowing players to easily join friends and assist them on their runs. The game is playable on all Apple Arcade compatible platforms, including iPhone and iPad, as well as Mac computers and Apple TV, where it can run in native 4K resolution. It will support traditional game controllers as well as touchscreen controls. Oh, here you go.
Nice to meet you. He's stunned. Get him.
Leo.
Yourself. Sweet. You can't stop now. Father's totally counting on us.
Want to make this a team up? Better not let me catch you sleeping.
Dude, it looks very Hades. Holy crap. Yeah. It looks very Hades. Splintered Fate is an attractive prospect, especially for those with an affinity for the long-running franchise. The TMNT has been enjoying some revitalized interest in the video game space lately, particularly due to the positive critical reception of Shredder's Revenge. I might have liked that more trying to play with people. And dude, I loved the old Turtles games, but whenever I tried to play Shredder's Revenge, I flushed it. I did not enjoy it. The hitboxes were terrible. And it was very, I know that's like old school hitbox stuff. Those old games were like that too, but it just did not feel good. I don't know. I might have enjoyed it more playing with people, but God, it felt terrible. I mean, I think the thing for me is like those games back then, I played them and I loved them back then because that's the way all games were, right? But like playing a modern take on like a retro styled Turtles game, I expected it to be a little bit better, and the hitboxes were just so gross, dude. And I finally was just like, I can't do this, man. Shredder's Revenge is a modern take. Yep. Okay. All right. If you need more, here you go. That looks pretty cool, man. That looks pretty nice. Okay. And here, City Escape Sim Builder is a new mobile city building game exclusive to Apple Arcade. It's been 10 years since the catastrophic launch of SimCity, a game so poorly received that it killed the immensely popular City Builder series that had been running since '89. The collapse of the series also led to layoffs at developer Maxis, and eventually the closure of its main studio by EA 2 years later. A few of those former Maxis developers wound up at Magic Fuel Games, a studio co-founded by SimCity senior producer Kip Katsarelis in 2015. Here's some extremely cool news. The studio has developed a new city builder, and it's out today. The uncool news, at least for PC gamers, Cityscapes Sim Builder is a mobile-only game. In fact, it's an Apple Arcade exclusive. It's a bit of a shame if you like playing city builders on PC and are interested in a new city building game made by some of the talent behind the SimCity series because it looks pretty neat. Yeah, it looks very SimCity. I mean, I think it depends on what you want. So if you want like a nice, cool, chill, maybe like shallow city builder, you're gonna want to look for something like this, Cityscape City Builder, or like SimCity Games. So like, if you want something more in depth, and you're really trying to get into the strategy of managing and building and everything, you're probably gonna want something more like City Skylines. It just depends on what you're trying to get out of a game, one of those kinds of games. You can see some futuristic looking buildings, monuments like the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, lots of cute, chunky vehicles filling the city streets. Also a focus on transportation networks, green spaces, so to please your citizens and the sustainability of your growing city. Yeah, okay. So, again, another game that's on Apple Arcade right now if you're interested, okay. Here we go. This is the last article I have for the day, and then we'll move on to getting some gaming done. Cool. We'll dive into some Warframe real quick because Baro Katir is around for the first time in a couple of weeks. We'll see what he has to offer, and then we'll get into the Shadows Over Loathing gameplay for the rest of the day. We won't be in Warframe very long, but if anybody has anything to add, let me know in chat, and I'll address it before we get out of the news for the rest of the day. The Last of Us Barbie fashion designer headline Video Game Hall of Fame 2023 class. I'm actually kind of surprised here. We'll address this real quick. So these are apparently the winners. And yeah, I agree. Wii Sports. But there were others in here that I thought absolutely had a bigger impact on the gaming world of the nominees. The 4 inductees joined the World Video Game Hall of Fame at the Strong National Museum of Play. Organizers announced Thursday. Barbie fashion designer, Computer Space, Last of Us, and Wii Sports. The quartet of classic games was recognized by the Hall of Fame for their influence on popular culture or on the game industry, and will be on display at the Strong National Museum of Play this summer. 2023's World Video Game Hall of Fame inductees beat out a strong list of nominees by this year's inclusion. A group of finalists that also included Age of Empires, Angry Birds, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, FIFA, International Soccer, GoldenEye 007, NBA 2K, Quake, and Wizardry. In a news release, the Strong detailed the impact of each game, starting with Digital Domain and Mattel Media's Barbie CD-ROM game. Barbie fashion designer organizers noted helped prove a market for games targeted at girls. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, The Last of Us over GoldenEye, dude? What? Barbie fashion designer became a jumping off point for the girls' games movement, shook up the software and gaming scene, said collections manager Christy Heiser. It also sparked important questions and debate. What does it mean to be a game for girls? Should there even be games for girls? What are the implications of these games? What are the consequences of gendering games? Naughty Dog's original The Last of Us was lauded by the Strong for its depth, storytelling, intimate exploration of humanity, thrilling game jumps and cutscenes, and memorable characters. It remains popular because of its quality of gameplay and strength of story, said Lindsay Carano, video game curator, in a statement. Dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, yeah, I agree, but you talk about something that's been around as long as GoldenEye, the impact it's had on gaming from back then up until the present. And dude, nobody that is a traditional gamer hears that song and doesn't know what game that's from. You know what I mean? Like, the impact that GoldenEye has had on shooting games ever since. And the gaming industry and the reach, and like, I mean, dude, it just came back out how many years later? You know what I mean? I don't necessarily agree with something like, yo, Cash, what's up, buddy? Like The Last of Us being inducted right now over something like GoldenEye. I just don't see it, dude. I get the Barbie fashion thing because of the helping to set a trend for games aimed more at like, girls and female gamers and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I mean, obviously, all of these nominees are here for a reason, right? All of these nominees are here for a reason, and they're only going to put there's only 3 to 4 that get in every year. Wii Sports, yeah. And I get the Barbie fashion designer thing too. But dude, I'm not going to agree with The Last of Us right now. I absolutely agree. This is like a Hall of Fame type game. But right now, The Last of Us being brought in over something like GoldenEye 007? Dude, no way. I just don't see it, dude. And you're not wrong. I mean, all these games have had an impact, right? I mean, you talk about so there are different criteria on what they rate these games for, right? And it's like how defining the games have been on the overall gaming world throughout, from the time they were created and the series or whatever, the original game, through the history of gaming moving forward, the reach the games have had worldwide and things like that too. So I mean, there are a lot of the Age of Empires, dude, Call of Duty, FIFA. I mean, there are a lot of these that have that kind of thing. That's exactly what I was just talking about, Cash. GoldenEye has changed FPS games ever since it came out. It literally changed the landscape of shooters, dude. If it wasn't for GoldenEye, games would not be the way they are today if it wasn't for GoldenEye. And I just cannot get on board with the fact that The Last of Us got voted in right now over that game. That is the big thing. That's the big glaring thing for me right now is that. That's so kind of gross, dude. That's pretty gross to me. I know The Last of Us is a great game and everything, but that seems like a blatant mistake there in my eyes anyways. Yeah. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. That's exactly what I was just like trying to get across, man. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, 7 days, bro. 7 days. Yeah, Nintendo's Wii Sports was a watershed moment for gaming like Barbie fashion designer. Wii Sports appealed to an untapped market. Errol Protter, a research specialist for Black Play and Culture, noted that Wii Sports made gamers out of millions of people around the world who'd never thought about playing one before, became a gaming phenomenon as news stories proliferated about gaming getting diverse groups of people, including those at many senior centers off their couches and breaking a sweat with virtual bowling, tennis, and more. Yeah, dude, the Wii was incredible. The Wii was incredible with the motion controls and all that stuff. And then you incorporated Wii Sports, which was just, it was dynamic, dude. What Wii Sports did as something that like, and Wii Sports came with most Wiis, didn't it? A lot of times, didn't Wii Sports come with a lot of the Wiis as a package? I think. Or was it just some of them? Or dude, I thought it did anyways. Man, I might be misremembering. You believe so? I would have to look it up. But I think it did. And it was just so much fun, dude, to play with people. And it was a whole different thing, dude. We hadn't really seen anything like that very much in gaming up to that point of, the motion controls and getting up and having the sensors. I mean, there were other console makers were trying to do some stuff like it, but Nintendo was really ahead of the game, dude. They really were. They were blazing the trail there with that kind of stuff. And Wii Sports was where it was at, dude. So finally, Computer Space, a title inspired by previous World Video Game Hall of Fame inductee Space War, broke ground for being the first commercial video game. Prior to Computer Space's 1971 release, there was really no commercial video game industry. Computer Space didn't bring video games to the masses, said Jeremy Saucier, Assistant Vice President for Interpretation and Electronic Games. But by showing that video games could reach paying audiences outside of computer labs, it laid the foundation for the games industry. I kind of assumed this one would make it in this year, And I thought that Wii Sports would too. I didn't really think that Barbie would, but I understand why it has. But this is a turnoff for me over something like GoldenEye. I didn't think there was any way GoldenEye wouldn't make it in, dude. I didn't think there was any way GoldenEye 007 wouldn't make it into the Hall of Fame this year. That's really, really off-putting for me. It's really weird. If you don't remember, last year's inductees were Ocarina of Time. There you go, Cash. Miss Pac-Man, absolutely. Another one of those things that gave, women is like an icon. This was like the first big icon for women to look at in gaming. It was a big deal. You had Pac-Man, and then Miss Pac-Man came out, and it was like, oh crap, dude, there's like a female version, and so it was a big deal. It was a very culturally significant thing. And especially for gaming as well. Sid Meier's Civilization and Dance Dance Revolution. Those were the games that were inducted in last year, man. And total 40 games are now recognized by the Video Game Hall of Fame. And you can... Do they have a link? They've probably got a link. They got links in here if you want to go see all the inductees right now that have been inducted in. But dude, I just can't get behind that over 007. That's one that I don't really agree with right now. Again, The Last of Us, awesome. I get it. I understand. I just don't understand it over 007, dude. I don't see it. I don't see it. That's the news, baby. That's the news. 7 days, Cash. 7 days, baby. Go Stars. Go Stars. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they're all nominated, right? There's a reason they're all nominated there. Don't get me wrong. All of those titles that make it into the finalists for the inducting into the Video Game Hall of Fame each year. There's a reason why they are all there. In my eyes, it's just hard to see GoldenEye be pushed aside for something that hasn't been around to be able to, that hasn't been around as long, nearly as long as something like 007 to have as long lasting of an impact yet. You know, it's I just not that it hasn't had a significant impact, but 007, dude, I mean, that's a weird one for me. It's just a weird one for me. I don't know. Cool. Great news segment. Appreciate you guys. We have just a tad bit of Warframe coming up, and then it'll be day 4 of Shadows Over Loathing, baby. Yeah. So 7 days, as Cash has notified us, until we get to start playing Tears of the Kingdom. Tearing up Tears of the Kingdom, right? Yeah. Be good stuff. I'm excited. I don't know. Good stuff. If anybody, I don't know, is checking out this entire news segment, or clips that come out of this news segment, or clips we've gotten out of other news segments, or video game playthroughs, or funny clips and highlights from games we've played, you know, things that have happened. You're enjoying any of that content, I would prompt you to come hang out with myself and the rest of these amazing individuals that are part of our community here. Whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day, we start off all of our streams with video gaming news before we dive into whatever gaming content we have planned for the rest of the day. Other than that, happy Friday. You guys stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for our next video gaming news segment, which will be for May 6th. All right?